Ah, classic Scooby-Doo movies, defined by their great storytelling, distinct scenery, beautiful animation, and willingness to take the extra step when it came to the more mystical themes. The series' 1999 classic, The Witch's Hunt, is I don't know. I kind of ran out of ultra descriptive words to describe this film with. Honestly, this movie is rememberable to me for one thing and one thing only, and that's goth babes. Or the Hex Girls, if you will. This movie did something to me. It awoken something inside of me that still has lasting effects on who I am as a person to this day. These minor, or should I say, major characters define this film. Their music tied together the plot. I'm a hex girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Got a little too excited. See, on my last Scooby-Doo review, I said it was only notable to me because I refused to watch it as a young child due to it being unappealing to me, but I may have seen this one too many times. I remember this movie as being one of those movies that would always be on around Thanksgiving time due to its very distinct, almost to the point that it's unsettling, autumn setting, and fall themes. Or one of those movies you would find on at around noon on Cartoon Network on any given random weekday during the year when you were home from school. Written by Glenn Leopold and directed by Jim Strensham, this movie originally came out as a direct sequel or second to Zombie Island, as it is the second of the 4 original direct-to-video films. This movie was an obscure one. It starts right off the bat in the middle of a mystery where the gang are disguised as exhibits in a museum and are hiding from what I can best describe as mummified tarnished soldiers with battle axes. We get a chase montage until the tarnished get trapped in an anticlimactic way. We come to find out that the person who trapped and tripped them was an author named Ben Ravencroft. Apparently, Velma is a big fan of him. We then get our first big twist, per se.
And we would have gotten away with it too, if it wasn't for this meddling writer.
Note that. It'll be important later. Velma proceeds to hype up the author. I mean, she's really slurping this dude up, riding him raw.
Bro, is dick riding all you do?
Somehow, this leads to Ravencroft inviting the gang up to his hometown in Massachusetts, to a house where he apparently written his early books. Enter in road trip B-roll through the most autumn setting you'll ever see. Like, just looking at this scenery gives me flashbacks to going to a local pumpkin patch or the September page on calendars back in grade school.
In a place like that.
So distinctly fall all the goddamn time.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Why is there pumpkins in the middle of July?
The gang and Ravencroft arrive to see a festival in the middle of town. And wait, before I move any further, this scene perplexes me.
See this? And I see you brought some friends and their dog. Rod? Rare? Haha.
So you are telling me Scooby is unaware to the fact that he's a dog? Wait, maybe he's not unaware. Is he even a dog? Like, he can practically talk and complete sentences, is pretty much completely self-aware, and is apparently allergic to bones? We come to find out that the mayor is hosting the festival and is using a legend about Ravencroft's ancestor as a tourist attraction.
Imagine just a random dude just like blaming a whole bunch of mishaps on like your great dead grandmother.
I would be pretty pissed off. Be like, just step off, bitch.
And more importantly, has a performance from the Hex Girls.
This definitely is the Thanksgiving vibe right here. The fucking Pilgrim world and all that shit.
Thanksgiving vibrator?
No, the Thanksgiving vibe.
Brother, look at that shit. Turkeys, fall.
I agree.
The fuck are you looking
I
at?
agree.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You ain't get your goddamn ugly ass.
So according to the mayor, apparently the town has been getting attacked by a witch whom he blames on Ravencroft's ancestor, Sarah. Ravencroft claims this is blasphemy, and instead Sarah was a healer who was wrongfully persecuted as a part of the Salem witch trials. Meanwhile, Scooby and Shaggy are fooling around, and Scooby ends up digging through a few layers of sediment somehow and finds a buckle from Sarah Ravencroft's time, apparently 400 years ago. Note this, it'll be important later.
Horseshoes, farm equipment.
How about a book?
A book?
I love how much cadence and emphasis Lovecraft puts on the word book. This shit is so cool, like I want to try it. Book. Nah, that wasn't spooky enough. Maybe I need to add some thunder or effects in the background. Book. Apparently, Ravencroft is searching for his ancestor Sarah's journal to clear her name. The mayor takes Shaggy and Scooby to apparently the best restaurant in town, and Ravencroft invites the others to his studio.
Go ahead, Velma. Sit down.
Jinkies! This is a dream come true!
Goddamn, Velma. Down, girl. I understand the way he says book is crazy. Trust me, I understand. But Velma is trying to get fucked. She's really trying to see if Ravencroft wants to rave in her croft. Ha 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 ha. Sorry. These two are such dickheads.
What do you think? Bone? Look! Scooby's allergic to bones.
See? What the fuck?
Okay, now I gotta reopen this Scooby theory I mentioned earlier. What the actual fuck is going on? The only other people I've met that have this strange allergy to bones are the chicks I matched with on Tinder when I meet them in person. Is he a robot? A alien? Did I match with Scooby on Tinder? Meanwhile, we get a scene with some backstory on Sarah Ravencroft from Ben on how apparently she was a holistic healer and was a Wiccan who drew powers from the earth or something to heal people. Also, this is how I be chowing down on another person's dime. You sure you got it, big dog? You okay with your parents footing the entire bill? Okay, Mr. Moneybags, I ain't gonna cramp your style. So the gang decides to stake out with the rest of the tourists to see if they can catch a sighting of the ghost. And while they are doing that, Shaggy and Scooby are leaving the diner and walk into the goddesses themselves, the Hex Girls. Oh, bite me. Oh, mommy. Well, wowzers. Jeez, I need to calm down. I gotta focus. Shaggy and Scooby get startled and run away and somehow run off the entire meal they just had and wait. I'm no scientist, but what are these two beings? If I'm going to take away all cartoon logic and look at these two and scale them based on what we've seen and we're told, these two have to be godlike beings like on some Naruto and Sasuke shit. Like, let's take this for example. They both devoured the entire menu of food, so I'll give or take and say that they ate 8,000 calories each. And they did not run that far of a distance to get out of town, so I'll say they ran about 1.5 miles in about 10 seconds. So they ran about 540 miles per hour just with initial shock speed? Just how powerful are these two really? Scooby and Shaggy end up running into the witch's ghost for the first time and are chased until they run into the rest of the gang. The gang go to investigate the claims until they hear the soothing hymns in the distance from the Hex Girls, who then proceed to give one of the most iconic performances in Scooby-Doo history. I mean, this song was an actual bop. I've known all the lyrics to this song since I was a young child like it was the national anthem, and I have no shame in admitting that. They for sure put a spell on me. Like they could have spawned a actual music group out of this, I would have went right along with it and have been one of their biggest fans.
Zoinks! It's the witches! Easy, guys. It's just the Hex Girls.
I'm gonna cast a spell on you. You're gonna do what?
My beloved brothers and sisters, I have an important message for you. Aside from the like and subscribe worthy content that my dear colleague, Nobel Peace Prize winning colleague has disseminated to you through this video, he has failed to neglect, he's failed to mention, one extremely important detail about this movie that you must be aware of for the sake of your children and the sake of your eternal soul. This movie is a seduction trap for devil worship. Devil worship. Those vampire e-girls, the spell shit that they do, devil worship, alchemy, witchcraft, all of it illegal, haram, okay? It's haram. All of that shit I'm talking about, Wiccans being good and then witches being evil, bullshit. It's all haram. It's a trap to seduce your kids, just like Pokemon, just like video games, just like social media, just like being a... Alright? You really think that they don't know what's going on? You really think that they don't know what they're doing to hide it from you? To steal your children away from you like Balenciaga wants to do? You really think that this is not nearly as evil as this? Well, you'd be right. Because this is the devil in disguise. This, you know what you're getting into. You see? You see? God damn it!
Anyways, the Hex Girls recognize Ben and are apparently a fan of his work. Do I need to change industries? Become an author? Cause why is he getting the baddest fans? Maybe I need to reroute my ambitions and become an author for, science. Apparently the Hex Girls aren't just goths, they're etho-goths.
Eco-goths?
And we don't need your approval.
Or whatever that means, I don't know. I'll give this movie props that it actually shows Velma and Fred getting suspicious of certain things and actually solving the mystery, and not Velma just randomly putting the pieces together at the end because she's Velma.
Hey, why is it that you always pair off with Daphne, Fred?
Well...
Never mind.
So, the gang is aware that Fred and Daphne peel off in the middle of missions to go smash, then act like nothing happened. Originally, I'd be against the cockblocking, but I get it, like, hey, we are clearly in the middle of something. Can you two horny-ass mofos chill out and go sit down somewhere? So during the investigation, Velma comes across some suspicious tire tracks that veer off the road and lead to a random barnhouse or shack that they see the mayor walking around and locking up. Velma decides to send Scooby and Shaggy to follow the mayor while her and Ben investigate the shed. While this is going on, Fred and Daphne snoop on the Hex Girls as the girls are talking about what I can presume to be drugs.
Bad dreams, sisters. Bad dreams, Sister Thorn.
That is such a cool call out. I'm gonna try to do that with my bros. Daphne finds herself getting a little jealous of the attention Fred is giving the Hex Girls.
Fuck you, Daphne.
Are you
Goth bitches are better than redheads.
Are you giving me ass, Daphne? No. Then shut the fuck up.
Velma is closing in on a lead as she breaks into the shed and finds the pickup truck still warm. And these animators need to stop queuing in and focusing on Thorn's curves whenever she is on screen. It is too much. The way they have her walk and strut is like a hooker in GTA 5. While Scooby and Shaggy were following the mayor, they run into the witch and have another short-winded chase until they run into the mayor and the rest of the gang, and the witch disappears again. Scooby and Shaggy tell Velma what they observed after spying on the mayor, and Velma exclaims that she needs one more piece of evidence and she'd have the mystery solved by the next day. Come to find out, this was all a part of her plan, as Velma pretty much all but solved the mystery at this point and was setting up a trap to prove it. She lured the witch out in the open and smacked her in a soccer goal with a tree branch. Kind of simplistic, but hey, it works. Here to come find out that most of the town was in on the hoax of the witch's ghost, including Thorn's father, the restaurant owner, and the mayor. The gang proceeds to shame the townsfolk for dragging Sarah's name through the mud. And wait, this movie is not over yet. This is where the movie goes kind of off the rails. So, Ben brings the Hex Girls and the gang back to his manor, and we find out that the Thorn is actually 1/16th Wiccan, and the Hex Girls 100% do drugs.
Peppermint and cloves to soothe my vocal cords. You think it's easy singing this stuff?
Thorn's herbal vapor is awesome. We all use it before and after every show.
The mayor and Thorn's father come to the door and admit to Ben that they lied earlier when they said they did not come across anything of Sarah's when building the town, and admit that they accidentally dug up her grave and came across her grave marker after.
No book?
See, look, he said it again. I don't know if this is an attempt of foreshadowing because just by the way he says it, I know he's up to no good, but I want to be able to say it like him so bad. Book, book, book. But wait, this movie is meaning to tell me that these townfolk not only paraded around this dude's ancestor like a monster for tourist money, but on top of that, they did this after defiling said woman's grave? I'm sorry, I'm not much of a spiteful person, but I'm starting to lean on the side that anything that happens to these people is warranted. Anyway, Velma figures out that the tree stump in the middle of town is the same tree from Sarah's photo and relates that the buckle that Scooby dug up from earlier in the movie was actually a latch from Sarah's journal. They all go out to the tree stump and Velma gets Scooby to dig deeper at the tree stump.
You gotta dig deeper, Scooby.
Roll,
How about for a Scooby snack?
roll away.
2 Scooby snacks?
Okay.
Scooby, what? Why are you choosing now of all times to be stubborn? If you don't just fucking dig. Scooby finds an evil looking box and Ben moans in joy. Y'all be scared to moan in your girl's ear. I be in her ear like, ugh.
Ben, are you?
Ben takes Sarah's journal out of the box and we find out it wasn't a journal. It was a
Spell book.
Okay, this gotta be the best take of it. This is the one I'm going to be practicing in my mirror. Spell book. Spell book. Spell book. All of a sudden, Ben's entire vocal cadence changes, and he claims that Sarah actually was a witch, who got trapped by other Wiccans and her spellbook, which makes him a warlock. And now that he has her spellbook, he can set her free and take over the world, yada yada, that usual jazz. Apparently, this dude went full on Eisen, going all the way back to the beginning of the film, where he apparently paid the security guards and the archaeologists in the Mystery in the Museum in the beginning of the film just to ensure that he and the gang would meet. So, Five Below Doctor Strange goes on a little power trip exacting revenge on the townsfolk and spinning out a bunch of corny one-liners.
Can I spin a yarn or what?
Ooh, Itachi reference. Wait, what year did this come out again? Wait, did this inspire Naruto? Doctor Strange attacks the gang. And summons Sarah.
Why does that look like Marvel's actually?
That's another like handsome Squidward.
Why she got yitties though?
She's got some yitties. Those are at least like double D to E.
No, y'all have a problem. Y'all are freaks.
Oh, she built though. Look at them.
Look at them blue bars.
Bro, her jawline's built.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Sarah takes a 5-second look around and immediately deems all people and land trash and wants to punish the world for her imprisonment. She immediately rejects Ben in a weird falling out that was never really fully explained. Like, what convinced you that she'd automatically want to rule the world with you? Like, if an entire band of Wiccans had to team up to seal her in a book, they probably had their reasons. She was probably an asshole. Sarah traps Ben and goes on a rampage. Velma tries to cook up a scheme to get the book back, of course, by using Scooby and Shaggy as bait, and with our previously calculated scaling of their speed earlier, I can't really blame her. We get another somewhat chase montage, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to count this one. Usually I count it when it has no bearing on the story and when the Scooby-Doo theme is playing in the background or any pop type of song that makes the montage seem more like a music video than an actual scene. Velma decides that since Thorn says she's 1/16th Wiccan, she is the closest thing to a pure-hearted Wiccan, which is the only thing that can seal Sarah. Thorn gets a hold of the spellbook and chants the spell to seal Sarah back inside of it. This works, and Sarah swiftly sucks back in, and drags Ben down with her, pretty much saying, if I go down, you're coming with me. The book closes, and a burning branch falls on it, and we get this from Velma.
Ben Ravencroft's last book is one the world will never buy.
Well damn, that's a bleak way to have a villain go out in a Scooby-Doo movie, like absolutely zero room for redemption. Jeez, got more balls than the writer of Marvel movies. The movie ends with the mayor deciding to just have the Hex Girls and the mystically enchanted monster turkey as the main attractions for the Autumn Fest, and we get another amazing performance of Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air. We may look bad, but we don't care. We ride the wind and feel the fire.
Alright, I get it!
This was a okay or very middle of the road entry to the Scooby-Doo mythos. If you were to ask me my final thoughts on the movie as a whole, I'd say, out of all the Scooby-Doo movies, this is definitely one of them. Like, besides the Hex Girls completely stealing the show and the very distinct fall setting, there's nothing really notable that I can describe that separates this movie from the rest. Hell, the Hex Girls come back in like 2 movies and have an even bigger role, so I can't even really say the movie is that unique because of them. I give this movie 6 Gwens out of 10 Rukias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you're a goth girl, let me know in the comments. I'm collecting data for science.
What do you think she got? 32 bees?
Who?
Red chick.
Thorn?
Yeah.
Nah, I say it's C. I say C.
I said D, bro.
C's can look pretty deceiving in my experience. They always look bigger somehow.
That nigga is mad evil.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So wait, you got magic and now you can do backflips?
Yeah, what kind of spell book was that?